My name is Chidi. I am from River in Enugu State. I am currently the essay to the Enugu State Governor on Student Affairs, and I also double as the NANS Vice President, National Affairs. Well, I started quite early. I found out that I loved engaging in selfless services and in serving people. So in my primary school, I was the class monitor from my primary 1 to my primary 5. And then I later was nominated to be the SP, but then I took my first school leaving certificate in primary 5, so I had to leave primary school at 5, class 5. And then in my secondary school, I was the class prefect from my JS1 to my JS3, and then in my SS1 I was made the school regulator, and then in my SS2 I was nominated to be the senior prefect also. But then I had to change school for reason best known to me. And then my first year, I was the class rep. I was the representative of my class from my first year to my third year. And then my third year, I became the SUG Public Relations Officer. And then in my fourth year, I became the SUG President. At that time, I was the SUG President. I was also the Chairman Council of SUG Presidents in Enugu State. And then also was the Chairman Council of SUG Presidents in Southeast Nigeria. Then later became the NANS Chairman of Enugu State, NANS Vice President, and then His Excellency Governor of Enugu State appointed me as on Student Affairs. It hasn't been very, very smooth because it entails a lot of commitment, especially on the part of NANS, where you have to tour around the campuses in Nigeria. As the Vice President of NANS National Affairs, I'm in charge of all the campuses in Nigeria, and we have over 272 public institutions cut across the 6 geopolitical zones. Then as the SA on Student Affairs, I try as much as possible to be the bridge between the government and the students of Enugu State. So by all, we thank God because it's been a wonderful experience. NANS is seriously perturbed by this development because our students have been at home for quite some time now, 2 months and still counting. And what baffles NANS is the fact that ASU has constantly used students as political bait to get what they want from the federal government at the expense of the students. On the 3rd of January, we had a meeting with His Excellency, the President and Grand Commander of the Federal Republic, Muhammadu Buhari, and we brought up this issue of ASU. In fact, the meeting was centered on ASU strike. So we told him that there is a great need he looks into the ASU strike and calls off the strike. Because if our students don't go back to the campuses, they won't be able to participate in the forthcoming general elections, and he promised to look into the matter. So, but the NANS president's speech in the villa was misinterpreted and misunderstood by so many that it generated a lot of controversies. Most especially when the NANS president said if the students' constituency is well utilized, we'll give the president 20 million votes. That was the way of trying to drag the president's self-interest into the matter so that the strike would be called off. So, but we were blackmailed deeply on social media, especially by ASU, and then the students were also fighting for joining the blackmail. So we were trying to let them know that ASU is a union fighting for her members, and her members are lecturers, and NANS is an association fighting for her members, and her members are students. So if students are at home because the demands of the lecturers haven't been met, at the end of the day, the federal government and ASU would come to an agreement and the strike would be called off. And then the lecturers get paid their allowances and their salaries for the months they did not teach. Then the students that have been at home for 2 months and counting, how are they compensated for the time wasted and the time lost? So you see, this is it's a very, very delicate situation, and it's very, very dicey, because the ASU, although they also demand for the welfare, for an improved welfare of our students and the university, we feel that the striking has been overflogged, and it's no longer producing dividends, especially to the students. So we are suggesting that a new formula or a new method should be looked into, so that our students don't get to waste valuable time at home. If you notice, so many persons pay for hostel and house rents as students, and these house rents are they are, passing by, and nobody is to balance them. The landlord don't come call them and say, okay, because you didn't stay for 2 months in the house you paid 100,000 for, we're going to subtract 2 months. So at the end of the day, the students are still the ones losing, why the lecturers are the ones that have a field day in this particular issue. And what also baffles us with ASU is ASU keeps saying that the federal government is not coming up with any tangible roadmap or way forward as regards their demands. And the FG is saying no, that ASU is not saying the truth. So the NANS president met with the ASU chairman or president, and that's Biodun Ogunyemi, and told him, okay, if you are having a loggerhead with the FG in these your meetings, you've sat 6 times and no resolution. So we want to come in as a body to be an unbiased umpire, so we could listen to your demands off camera or in camera, sorry, and then also listen to what the FG has to say, so we'll know who truly is the one that doesn't want to end the gridlock. But then twice that we've tried, we were sent out by ASU themselves now, not by FG. So it made us feel there is a skeleton in the cupboard they don't want the public to know about. So that was why we were saying what they are doing is antithetical to our students. Our students are no longer comfortable, they are tired of staying at home. So whether the FG is meeting their demands or not, all we are saying is the strike should be called off so our students go back to their various classrooms. Thank you. Yeah, in Nigeria, most leaders are greedy. They want to, they are scared of tomorrow, so they just want to get and grab all they can in the shortest time they will be in office, for their generation, so they don't come out and start begging money, or they don't come out and people start laughing at them and mocking them. And then also in Nigeria, you see a situation whereby our leaders don't even read. They are not exposed, they are not experienced. So they feel leadership is all about sharing money, leadership is all about having so many people around you at all times. And it increases the cost of governance. And so when the cost of governance is on the high side, you see that reasonable funds that should be channeled into achieving a lot of things like infrastructure and human capacity and capital development is being channeled into the wrong places. So and then in Nigeria, our leaders don't they're not visionary. They just look at the now. They don't look beyond the now and beyond themselves. If you want to go into leadership challenges in Nigeria, it's a full-blown topic for itself. If I go into it, we might not live here today. So but just know that there are so many reasons why leaders fail. As the NANS Vice President, I am a national officer, and as the SA to the Governor of Student Affairs in Enugu State, I am a state officer. So I think these are two parallel offices. But then when an issue comes up between the students and the government, you should know that I am in the best position to advise the government on the best stand to take, and any advice I will be doling out would be that would be very, very beneficial to the student constituency.